Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Well, let's start off with something silly, as I often do.
I love this view.
I love it every time this commercial airs. I get to drink another Mountain Dew.
That's, in social media, you got to just feature the product. I like the way that the storage compartment filled with ice comes out of the horse's back end. Anyway, let's move on to something very serious. This is going to be a serious show today, I'll tell you that much. Okay, and here I've gotten back on adland.tv, one of my favorite sites. And I don't know why, but for some reason I'm blocked in Europe. Probably all that spam I send out, not. Anyway, so stick.se suggests a fly swatter for pence in a topical ad. They got this done really fast. Fly swatter, $2, and it's a real ad. It's a real full-page ad. And I don't know that you can make it pay. $2. What's the margin on a $2 fly swatter? I think it's in Sweden, and I don't know much about it. But this is a full-page national newspaper ad, and I'm sure it got some attention. This is why you want to check out European news. Here's the ad laid out a little better. If you want a bigger marketing budget, focus on creating cash flows. Now, as Mark Ritson points out, this can get you a really short-term view. And I've seen this. I did a co-presentation with a Cohere One with Travis Seaton. There we go. And he pointed out that he's seeing long-time mailers go to digital directly, and they experience better cash returns because their cost of acquisition goes down. If you've seen my little bathtub model, you know that opening the faucet, that part of it is putting new customers in. You spend money, get new customers, because customers are always leaving through all sorts of attrition, But anyway, and Travis said the flaw in it, in the short term, they acquire just as many customers, but at a less expensive rate, because digital is generally perceived as less expensive than putting, say, a catalog in the mail and prospecting with it. And he says they go along for a year or two, and what they don't realize, and I've seen this many, many times in the last few years, what they see is a boost in their profitability, in their marketing. Their costs go down, so their acquisition stays fairly constant. Their average order stays fairly constant. So what that means is they're generating more cash for the business in the short term. However, very quickly they start to see that these customers are not the same customers, especially when they mail them. But even if they don't, if they try to reconnect with them digitally, doesn't matter much. We see a downstream value of about 25%, and I saw it with an affiliate network with one of my clients. That was back in like 2012, where the downstream value was 1/4, and they also didn't prospect more effectively. They were actually losing money hand over fist, but they were saying that the revenue generated was equal to the cost of the promotion. Well, that doesn't make you any money. So they thought they were acquiring at a break even, which they weren't, and they didn't even look at downstream value. I've seen it really markedly when we test the Amazon buyers, because I hate to say this, but most Amazon buyers, my kids tell me this, are buying from Amazon. They think of it that way. They don't think, oh, I'm buying from this manufacturer's own warehouse and drop shipping it. Or if they have fulfillment by Amazon, it comes right away. They'd prefer that. And so this idea that digital is generating cash flows is oftentimes just a short term. It's a little bit like, taking a drug that makes you feel really great in the short term, and then in the long term you're addicted to it, or you have serious side effects or something like that. I watched Jordan Peterson just did a thing on his I think it was anti-anxiety drug that basically put him in the hospital for a year, extended use of it. So just as you have to be very, 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 very careful with drugs that make you feel great, so also you have to be careful with cash flow as a measure of the value of marketing. Cash flow is something you have to have a long-term view. Back in the day, I won't say exactly when, but Jack Miller from Quill and I put together a spreadsheet approach, a P&L approach, that showed the connection of marketing spend with acquisition with downstream value. And we based it on a P&L of a company over 5 years. We did a fictitious case, although one of my clients thought I'd stolen their numbers. It was the name of the company was their name reversed, but it had no relation to them at all. It was closer to Quill's numbers. Anyway, and we did it with Quill's accountant and Jack Miller, and it was one of the highest rated presentations ever at the DMA. But anyway, it is possible to do that, and we still have that spreadsheet, and we've still done it for some clients. And we can actually show you how your downstream value, I prefer that to lifetime value. Lifetime value is an advertising term applied to term life. And it doesn't really apply to most retail merchants of any sort, because in life insurance, if you don't identify what the premium connects to, they cancel your policy. If you stop paying, or if you just don't send it in properly, they want to cancel your policy. They don't want you to keep it till the day you die. It's a fairly good investment if you keep it till the day you die, or if you die while you still keep it. That's the way most people think of it. But if you keep it forever, then sadly your beneficiaries benefit, and the life insurance company has to pay a very large sum of money. But if you quit, they keep all your money and don't have to pay out anything. See? So when they acquire you in term life, they are banking on you leaving eventually. You don't get a lot of letters from your life insurance company saying, we love you, keep with us till the day you die. They want you to go. And so that kind of inertia-driven marketing, where we count the downstream but we don't do anything to resuscitate it, is not what most businesses are based on. I've been with Land's End for literally 50 years. I started, or not quite 50, 40. I remember going to their little store down on Chicago Avenue, I think it was. Anyway, down in Chicago, and seeing boat shoes, and it was basically sailing gear and duffel bags. So you can keep customers forever, and my wife is now a customer, my kids are customers, and it can go on and on. It can grow multi-generationally. So downstream value is the way to get a bigger budget, is to connect the spend. And so basically JP is right. Just don't measure it in the next 6 months. He says, rightly so. There's a lot of right in this article. He says that we complain about when budgets get cut in downtimes, but the guys in the suits, guys or gals, he says, in defense of him, says that in context, sometimes it's better to save the cash. Sometimes marketing isn't the most important thing, especially if all your stores are closed at the moment. Makes it a little difficult. Makes it very difficult to raise cash. About the only way is to cut costs. and he points that out. So, so there may be some defense for cutting the marketing budget, but as times smooth out, the reality is that you can connect marketing spend and downstream profitability very effectively, and happy to help if you need that done. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Bye-bye.